Hi guys, what is up? This is V4V, a podcast created to make your days brighter and your nights even brighter. So for today, I'm so happy this is my sixth episode, and hopefully I'll last till 100. But let's see. Okay. For now, I'm gonna introduce the guest, then introduce the topic. So our guest for today is Natasha Roy, my college friend. We've been getting a lot close, and the reason why I invited her to this podcast was because one day we were at a Zoom meeting, and like Tasha was like, "Oh, like I like your podcast," and then I was like, "Okay, let's do a podcast." So here we are now, and actually, our my second guest, Nat, he is a friend of Tasha's. I just got to know him like a week ago, and Tasha was like, "He's a good speaker. Let's bring him in." I was like, "Oh, okay, let's bring him in." So Nat wants to remain anonymous. So I respect that, and I hope you guys respect that too. What's more important is the idea shared here, and I believe that Nat can do the job well with uh as well as Natasha too. So with that, Natasha and Nat, say hi, please. What is up?
Hi. Hi,
Hello,
guys.
dear listeners. Hello.
Hello. Okay,
Don't
so
mind that I'm remaining sketchy and mysterious here, please.
I'd like for you guys to introduce yourself. Natasha, would you mind going first?
Okay, hi guys. What's up? I'm Natasha Roy. There's a Nat here, but just call me Tosh if ever you want to address me V. But so yeah, I met V in college. We had a lot of the same classes together. Surprisingly, I met him through a friend of a friend. And I'm pretty sure we would have known each other in high school if we crossed paths. But
Yeah, yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah.
that didn't happen. Instead, we met in college, which I think was really lucky and was really spontaneous. Right now, I'm taking up BS Marketing Management in LaSalle University. And so far, online learning's been not so great. But yeah, we're coping.
All right. So hi Tasha. Next, okay, Nat, what is up? How do you want to introduce yourself?
All right, hello. So, contrary to Tasha here, I'm actually, as you can tell from me remaining anonymous and me not showing my face, I'm actually a very private person. And I do not that comfortable giving 100% of myself away. However, I do feel like today's topic is such an interesting topic, and I feel like it's worth talking about. And even though I'm not the best at handling publicity, I still feel like it's not a responsibility, but it's really worth talking about, and it's really worth giving my insights on this topic because I feel like a lot of people are going through this right now. No spoilers, of course. This is to be revealed by the man himself,
Oh,
V.
okay.
So that's me.
All
If you
right.
guys ever figure
So,
out who I am based on my voice, please don't hesitate to leave a message. And if you don't, then I hope you enjoy listening to Nat.
all right. All right, Nat, as Nat mentioned, as Nat didn't mention that our topic today was to be introduced by me. And yeah, our topic today is, well, Tasha really wanted a In My Feelings or In Your Feelings podcast. There's a podcast on YouTube. It's called In Your Feelings. And I kind of sort of listened to it and I was like, okay, I want to do this. So our topic today is feeling lost in your 20s. Um, a lot of people, like including me myself, don't really know what to do in their 20s, or we're like, I should be doing this right now. I should be racking up, cash. I should have a lot of followers, or I should actually be, financially independent during my 20s, but I'm not. Well, that's me. Tasha, what is your take? Like, introduce this topic for you.
Okay, for me personally, this topic I felt really strongly or really resonated with because I don't know, especially since everything's online right now, it's so easy for us to compare ourselves with other people. You see how great your friends are doing in, let's say, their organization, how your friends are all getting internships, how people are getting job opportunities. And you're just here sitting in your couch or in your chair. I'm sitting in my chair, wondering, like, hey, what am I doing with my life compared to all of these other people here? Like,
Yeah.
all of these people are probably living their best lives. You see, of course, social media is very fabricated. You see everyone's best life, but it tends to you becoming insecure and really thinking, oh no, like I'm a 20 something year old individual, and what am I doing right now? Like, what am I doing with
Yeah.
my life? Yeah.
What about you, Nat? How do you want to introduce this topic? Like, what is it for you?
Well, I guess contrary to Tasha here, and I guess contrary to you as well, and you mentioned earlier
Mm,
you do feel pressure from time to time. Uh, it's interesting because I was brought up to be sort of different towards this
mm,
topic. I was never told to feel pressured, and I was always told to take my time and enjoy my youth, last remaining years of my youth before we turn into adults, legal adults. And
uh-huh.
however, the reason why I'm here right now and the reason why I feel the need to talk about this, even though um, I'm not exactly going through this myself, is because I have a lot of friends, Tasha included, who are going through this, and they would come to me and they would talk to me about it and be like, "Oh, I feel like I'm not achieving much. I feel like I can do so much more." And I always find myself giving advice to them, and now I feel like this is a nice platform for me to, share my thoughts, yeah, and
Mhm.
to reach a sort of a wider audience than one-on-one conversations. Obviously, that's not to say that me not having, me not going through this topic. It's not to say that I do not resonate with it. I do resonate with it, and I do want to share with it. It's just that, yeah, my mind is clear right now. Is what I'm trying to say.
All right. Well, okay. So you're kind of gonna be the guy that will ask advice from. So okay, Tasha, would you want to start? What was your like? When was the last time you felt like lost, or is it now, or do you feel lost now?
Good question. For me personally, I feel that I guess it was that time when a lot of my batchmates from 117 were graduating.
Mm,
Like me, I would say I'm a very ambitious person. I always like going for the best internships, like the best, I don't know, organizations. I want to try everything basically, like
mm-hmm,
extracurricular wise. I feel like you can learn a lot from extracurriculars more so than formal education, because that's really where you build up your skills and talents and whatnot. For me, there was a time when everyone was getting the internships that they really wanted. I remember one of my best friends getting an internship for, let's say, Estee Lauder. Someone else got an internship for Unilever. And I was like, wow, because I remember applying for
mm,
these internships and not getting in at all. And sometimes because of that, you ask yourself, like, hey, am I not good enough for this internship? Or, hey,
yeah.
like, I feel like I'm not doing enough compared to like these friends. Like, what is so different with them than from me? Like, what am I not giving that they are? And sometimes it really makes you feel like you're not good enough or that you're not insecure. But
Mm-hmm,
why I really resonate and feel strongly with this topic is because, like, what I tell a lot of my friends, sometimes I forget to tell myself, is that like everyone's life moves in different stages, different phases. Like someone can get an internship you really want now, but later you don't know that you'll even get a better one. Or later you
mm,
might even actually get one that's so much better and that really just defines like your 20s. And I think that's when I felt really pressured, seeing all of my friends get all these internships and me applying for the said internships, but not getting in. In high school, I'd apply for officership positions, but never get them. It's like really a blessing
mm-hmm,
right now that I'm an officer in Gemma. But yeah, a lot of the times life brings you down, and sometimes you're wondering, am I actually good enough? Especially now in your 20s. I feel like millennial wise, Gen Z wise, everyone's like, you have to earn right now. You have to get rich now. You see all these people
mm-hmm.
doing this. Why aren't you doing that? That type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. Um, like, well, talking like I'm gonna talk about my experiences. Like, when I first wanted to try and get to dancing, I've always because I'm a self-proclaimed dancer. I can dance okay, but like when I tried to start dancing, siguro maybe last year, I was like, do should I even start? Because a lot of the best dancers in the world start when they were young, and I'm just starting when I'm 19, and I was like, I'm too old. And that's when I realized, like, what the fuck? I am not old. Okay. I am 19. I probably have maybe 60 or 50 years in my life. So why am I feeling so, so maybe degenerated? Is that what you said? But why am I feeling so down? Why am I feeling so down of trying something new? Shouldn't I just romanticize trying something new? Because, it's really something to be happy about. But why am I suddenly so sad? I'm suddenly thinking of the future where I won't have a future dancing, and I don't know the future, so why would I think that? And a lot of people really get pressured because they want to achieve that goal kagad overnight or maybe over a year. But like one thing I listened to a podcast by Gary V. He said that when you're 20s, the first 6 years of your life is shit. You won't be able to do anything, or well, not really shit. Okay, I'm so sorry, but like you don't expect that you'll become a millionaire in a year or two. I think a lot of my friends, actually my business friends, want to become a millionaire kagad, and it's just not like that. And I do think I want to become a millionaire. Do you want to become a millionaire, Nat and Tasha?
I mean, of course, I'd like to believe money, a little bit of money, like a little bit of percentage of money contributes to happiness. Not a big
Mm,
percentage, but you at least need like earnings to keep
yeah,
yourself
you
happy. You know what I
do.
mean?
I
Like
do,
even
I
the
do.
feeling of earning money, even like 1,000 pesos at this age, you get so happy. You're like, oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm earning. Like it's the best feeling.
Nat, wanna share something? You've been quiet for well a good 5 minutes or 10.
No, no, no. Yeah, no. I was actually listening to your stories, and I feel like these are such wonderful stories to tell. Mm, I feel like the core foundation of this is people sort of mistake ambition with pressure. Because the thing about ambition
Mm,
is, yes, it's supposed to drive you forward, right? It's supposed to motivate you to reach, that high of achieving things. But I feel like people mistake ambition with pressure is because they try to overexert themselves or they try to compare themselves when they shouldn't be doing that. Because as Tasha said earlier, we're individuals and we're unique and we do improve
mm,
on our own paces. And yeah, separating the line between ambition and pressuring yourself is really important because yeah, it's going to be counterproductive if you just keep focusing on the wrong things. Like imagine you have all these achievements ahead of you, but the only thing that's blocking you from reaching them is the fact that you're afraid that other people are going to reach it before you, or the fact that
mm.
other people are reaching uh, their ends of the world while you're still at the starting line. Like,
Yeah.
it's such a sad factor. You're losing right before you start. And so, yeah, I feel like determining the difference again between ambition and pressuring yourself is really important.
Okay, so speaking of ambitions, I actually want to know like what are your ambitions? Okay, I'll start with me, then Tasha, then Nat. Okay, so my ambition is I want to become a. I'm shy, but okay, okay, okay. I want to become a super good dancer who can also sing, kind of like those K-pop idols that you keep on singing. I want to become at least somewhat like them. I also want to become uh like in the future I also want to help others in need, like using my privilege to help other people. I also want like well, the big bucks, okay? Like who doesn't want the big bucks? I also want like I want to have a nice wife, I want to have a nice family, I want to have a nice house. Those are my ambitions. I want to live I want me and my friends to live in a whole building, like just all of my friends. So yeah. What about you, Tash? Sorry,
That's the
too
dream.
idealistic.
That's really the
Mhm.
dream. We live all have a condo, like build an Ayala Land premier state and just have all your friends live there. That's
Amen.
that's the dream. For me personally, okay, my ambitions would always change. I feel like at 20, that's also such a terrible age to ask someone what they want to do for the rest of their
Yeah.
lives.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like,
Uh-huh.
especially, and I wouldn't say it's toxic, but it's very pressuring that at age 8 or at age 10, your parents or your aunts, uncles would ask,
Mhm.
hey, so what do you want to be when you grow up? Like, do you think an 8-year old child would want to answer that question? Do you think they would actually know the answer to that question? Like, for me
Probably not.
personally, it's all fun and games until you're 20 and you're like, oh no. Like when I was 8, I said I wanted to be an ice cream connoisseur. I wanted to try all the ice cream flavors in the world. It would be like Master Chef, but ice cream. And so I was like, Mom, Dad, that's what I want to do. And I remember in high school, I wanted to be a fashion designer, but then I realized I'm a very creative person, but I also get burnt out really easily. So maybe it's not for me. And so my ambitions would keep changing and changing and changing. And so now here I am in marketing. I would say I'm
Hey.
enjoying myself. Marketing's very fun. It's like business with a creative side. So I'm having lots of fun there. For my far off future, I guess I'd want to make a lot of cash, and I'd want to use that cash to be a philanthropist like V, or to travel the world. Like, with as much money as I make, I don't want to spend them on material possessions, but I want to spend them
Mm.
on experiences. I think that's really important. Using your money to spend it on experiences that you'll remember like for the rest of your life. It can be like, oh,
Mm.
I traveled there, I watched this concert, etc. I think that's really a worthwhile way to spend your cash.
All right. That's so cute. I love it. I love how we're sharing ambitions. Okay, Nat, you go.
Right now, as Sasha mentioned earlier, uh, determining our ambitions when we're 20, yeah, it's sort of a hard task to pin down
Mm.
because we're still figuring it out ourselves. But I do want to say it's not wrong to dream. It really isn't wrong to dream. It's not wrong
Yeah.
to dream that you want to earn millions and millions of cash in the future, which I want to do as well, obviously. I also want to be a multi talented instrumentalist. I want to play lots of instruments. I think I can play
Mm.
two, and I want to add more to that. I also just want to be a better version of myself to different people because I feel like mm, as a person, the opinions of my close friends and my families do matter to me,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
let's say they're proud of me. It affects me very much. And on the other hand, let's say I'm also very afraid of disappointing them. So yeah, I do want to be the best version of myself to them and to myself as well when I look in the mirror. So self development, self improvement is a goal for me.
All
Yeah.
right. Okay, so I have like I just thought of this right now. It's like a notion, okay? The reason why we're feeling so lost is because of the plethora of choices. Like we have a lot of choices. We could be like a businessman for clothes or makeup, or we could be a content creator, or we could earn money through boxing or singing and dancing. So like I want to hear your guys' thoughts. Like, do you guys ever get anxious about the choices that you're going to choose in the future? Because honestly, we can make a whole lot of choices, but, you know, sometime in the future, we're going to have to stick with a choice. Okay, so anybody want to start?
Well,
Not?
the thing about choices is, yeah, as I mentioned earlier, we're just in our 20s. And I'd like to see beauty in choices. I really do want to think that choices are there really to guide us to what we want to do in the future. See, yeah, you do have a lot of choices, but don't be afraid of the fact that one day all those will go away and you have to stick to one. Yeah, that's a fact. Obviously, you can't, do everything all at once in one lifetime. But do know that opportunities do exist. And you sticking to one doesn't mean you'll get locked out of other opportunities. You still will have a chance to do them if you allocate your time properly. If you practice, productivity, you can and you will find time to do all of them.
Mm,
And I'm confident that everyone listening right now will find it in themselves to do so if they put their minds into it. I do believe in everyone. And I do believe in myself as well. Like I said, yeah, I do want to earn a lot of cash. I want to be a proper businessman in the future. But that doesn't mean I'll stop playing music. And that doesn't mean, I'll turn away or I'll shy away from my other interests like film. I also love film very much, too much, actually. And yeah, I still want to do all of that. And that's the beauty in choices. Just because you're focusing on one major thing doesn't mean you'll get locked out of other opportunities. Yeah.
all right. Dude, that was actually pretty beautiful. Honestly.
Wow, that's very
No,
well
thank you,
said.
thank you. No, no, no.
Yeah, very well said, very well said. And like I just wanted to add also that um I mean, it's okay. it's okay to feel like lost, I guess. Like everyone is feeling lost, okay? Everyone here in this call probably feels lost a bit or a lot. I know I do feel lost, and it's okay. It's because you don't have to get that bread so fast unless you're hungry. But Dasha, help me.
Well, I guess for me, like in relation to your question, it's just everyone's just trying to be super successful so fast. Me as a
Mm,
perfectionist, I feel this times a thousandfold. Like everyone in social media posting their achievements, you feeling like you're not enough. I just feel like at this age, we're only 20, but we feel like being 20 is like being 40. I don't know how to say it.
mm,
Like our parents were okay to make mistakes, but us, we're so focused on like finding a job that will pay a lot and never leave that job. We're so scared to make mistakes. I think that's it. We're just really scared to make mistakes. Like society has taught us we got to portray the best versions of ourselves all the time. Like we can screw up so quick. And I think
mm.
that's also because like the job market's so saturated. I look at it, the population in the Philippines, economically speaking, not sure if you listeners want to hear economics, but yeah, the Philippines is so overpopulated. And what more the jobs we want to get, the jobs we want to take. And I know this is really scary. Like that's why a
Actually
lot of
is.
people are like resorting to like having like a business job, but also doing content creation. And I think that's what Nat's also trying to say. Like we shouldn't focus solely on having a business job alone. We shouldn't focus solely on being a doctor. Like you can be a doctor but have hobbies. Like you can paint, you can write music, you can sing. Like oops, my headphones.
It's okay.
Without compromising like your main mode of income. You can still have fun with other pathways. Like you shouldn't be afraid to try out new things. You shouldn't be afraid to make mistakes. Cause yeah, we're still young. And I think it's really nice if you try out a lot of different things. That's not necessarily bad. Just for me at least, my life mantra is just do things you love while you're alive. So let's
Mm,
say like we're just really pressured to earn so much money and everything, but we should also remember to do things that we love. That's the most important thing. Do things we love while it lasts.
that's true. I think
Yeah.
like building up with what you said, I think slow and steady. Like a lot of us are trying to rush, and it's better to just be slow and steady, appreciate the time you have now. you know you, of course, you can hustle. It's so good to hustle. It feels so good for the soul, or for you, that you're hustling, you're working hard for something, you're working hard for your future. But you also kind of like stop stepping on the gas. Learn to step on the brakes. Try to rest. Check up on your friends, or talk to your friends, message your friends. If you're not the type to message your friends first, be that type, because it's a useful skill, messaging first. You could do a lot with messaging first. And why am I talking about messaging first? I'm so sorry. But yeah, slow and steady. Nat, I think you on your mic. You want to say
Oh
something?
no, I wanted to laugh because, yeah.
Oh,
But no, if I do want to build up on what you said as well, though. Like Tasha has her own mantra. My mantra is that patience really is the greatest power. I
amen.
believe that patience can get you really far. Okay, do not mistake patience with um, procrastination. There you go. Do not mistake patience and
Mm,
procrastination. But I think patience is such a good skill for a person to have. I really do not
mm,
underestimate the power of patience. It will get you really far. Imagine you have the option to either rush things or just enjoy the moment. Like, which one would you choose? Rushing and running, like sprinting towards your goal, missing out on all the beautiful, like maybe sights to see while you're running, you can't see anything, or just taking a nice stroll, but knowing that you'll get there one day. Like you can watch,
mm.
you can look at the sky, you can look at the trees. It's such a stupid analogy, but you guys get what I mean, right? You
I do,
guys
I
get what I
do.
mean. Take a nice stroll instead of sprinting to the finish line. It's not a race. It really isn't a race. It's all about finding time, because I believe we will always have time. YOLO and all that, but we will always have time. We underestimate how much time we have in this world. There is so much time for patience. And if you just rush it, it's gonna be counterproductive.
Yeah,
But
that's
then
true.
again, do not mistake it for procrastination. Procrastination is
Mm,
bad. We do it like from time to time because it's really hard to avoid. I admit it's hard to avoid. It's very tempting, but do not let it take over you. It's okay if it takes slow days, but do not mistake it with procrastination. Yeah.
Tasha, have you procrastinated lately?
I feel like everyone has procrastinated at one point
I have.
or another over quarantine. I mean, you're so susceptible to procrastinating nowadays.
Mm,
Like just at
super.
home, you're like, oh wait, no, I don't want to do homework. I want to eat. Like I don't want to like watch this film being for school. I want to play ML. And it just gets
Amen.
yeah, it just gets difficult to work. Yeah, I guess that's also in relation to what Nat said. You got to enjoy what you're doing, like love what you're doing, you know. Always remember that the things that you're doing now will help you get somewhere in the future. Like especially ACADS, like sometimes you don't want to do school, but you also have to realize, hey, this is going to get me somewhere. Like let me reach let me do this so that I can reach my goals in the future, you know.
Okay, so let's try to help our viewers because I know viewers or listeners because I know some listeners might be listening to this because they have a bad day, like and in that certain bad day they'd feel very lost because when I have bad days I'm like where the fuck do I belong in this world? That's like my mindset kind of when I have a bad day. So how do you guys pick yourself up from a bad day of feeling lost, trying to find your direction again? um, Tasha, how do you find your direction? When
Okay.
you like feel lost.
Well, first of all, I'm a very private person as well, similar to Nat. So usually I just keep it in. I usually end
Mm,
up watching movies. I usually end up like reading books and whatnot. But I always remind myself, I always tell myself, like, hey, like everyone, I always tell myself this, as I mentioned earlier, everyone has a different timeline. Like you may see so many people doing different things now, so much achievements, but that's not you. That's not who you are. You're so much greater than this and you're so much better than this. And you don't know what you're capable of yet. Maybe you'll get it in your mid 20s, maybe you'll get it in your 30s, but you still don't know your potential or the capability of what you can do and what you can become. And I always tell myself also, it's okay to feel sad. Like for listeners here who aren't having the best day, it's okay to feel sad, but don't let that sadness consume you, because there will
mhm.
always be one person, or there will always be people in this world who want to see you succeed. Like me, I want to see you guys succeed. I love it when
Yeah.
people are able to reach for their dreams, like their goals. I want you guys to know that it's okay to feel sad. Just let those feelings in. Don't force feelings to hide. Feel whatever you want to feel, but at the end of the day, always come back to your core. Always come back to who you are. Know that you can do this, whatever you guys are going through, like whether it be insecurities, whether it be like you're just very demotivated over the pandemic. Always remember that you can do this. Like you're you, everyone has a different timeline, and you don't know how much you're capable of. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude. I like what you said about like going back to your core. Like for me, my core is like my why. Why am I living? Like at the very, fruit of it all, I'm living because I want to experience a whole lot of stuff. I want to experience heartbreak. I want to experience love. I want to experience getting that first paycheck. I haven't gotten my first paycheck. I
Yeah,
want to experience that, getting my first paycheck. And if everything just rushes too fast,
that's
it,
true.
it feels like you're not there. You rushed it. You won't
Yeah.
be able to appreciate every step you take.
I also
It's
have
it's
something for that
crazy.
actually. Yeah.
Go, go.
Like you were saying, like, I want to experience heartbreak, I want to experience failure. Like, you guys have also got to remember that if we always experience good things, we won't
Mm,
experience happiness anymore. Like, that would be a stale emotion. Like, that would be
yeah.
something we'd be so used to feeling. But let's say if we feel heartbreak, if we feel sadness, if we feel failure, the next time something good happens, you'll feel so much love. Like you'll feel so warm and fuzzy inside. You'll feel so happy because
Mm-hmm.
that's what it means to live. Like you can't just be like happy all the time. It's like a mountain range. You got to go up and down and up again because that's how life is. Like you have to experience failure to be able to succeed. You have to sadness to feel happiness. Like life is like that, and that's really something that you got to enjoy while you still have time, you know.
Mm-hmm. Nat, you have anything to say?
With regards to what I do, like on bad days, a question or me?
Yes, yes. Like
Okay.
finding direction. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like what Tasha said. Do not forget about your core. It's also, this may not be applicable to anyone, okay? But this has worked for me, and I always do this when I'm having a bad day. So maybe some of you, and sort of try it out, and maybe some of you even do this. But I really believe in talking. Just talking can make a big difference. Being able to let out your emotions, to share it with certain people, doesn't have you don't have to broadcast it to the world. You don't have to post it on social media. Oh, I'm so sad, yada yada yada. No, intimate conversations with someone, it can go, it can help you so well. You can clear your mind so quickly. I really do that. Not every single time I have problems, but when I feel the need to connect, I don't shy away from it. I don't, it's also, I don't want to say toxic masculinity, but people believe that mm, being strong is all about keeping your emotions in and,
Mm,
all that.
For guys at least,
But
yeah.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. But I do want to believe that we all have a right to our emotions. Then there is no, you know, shame in feeling down. There's no shame in feeling sad. Embrace that emotion. Share it with the people that you want to share it to. It will really help you. It has helped me and it will really help you. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Listeners, if it makes you guys feel any better, um, like if check this podcast, everything's fine and all, but honestly, I experience a lot of shit. I fight with my parents. I fight with my friends. I fight with myself because I'm sometimes you get
Internal
disappointed
struggle,
in
you know.
yourself. Yeah, the internal struggle. You know, you, you cry. I cry a lot. Mm,
A
I
lot.
cry a lot. Like I'm ugly when I cry, and I think you guys are ugly too when you cry. So don't hide that
Yeah,
shit.
I'm ugly when I cry.
I'm ugly when I cry.
I don't know, like if it makes you guys feel any better, we're all lost together. So I mean, and uh that's what not said applies here. You know, it's very important to find connections, because we're all lost together. So, why not either be happily lost together or just help each other find our own direction? Because okay, I have a story to tell. Because before Tasha, before Tasha asked me about, you know, my podcast and everything, I was like, no, I was just wondering to myself, should I take my time? Will an opportunity come where a guest would just reach out to me and all that? So, I was kind of a bit lazy with editing this episode 5 because I have so much stuff to do. And then, our Zoom meeting like for a class came, and I was like, and Tasha was like, "Hey, I like your podcast." And then we talked about it, and I was like, "Oh my god, this shit is real." Like opportunity comes. Sometimes you don't really have to go and get that opportunity, but you have to make sure that when that opportunity comes, you can grab it and say that you're ready for it. You know, um, it's not just you who wanders around. I guess opportunity kind of does too, and the universe. I don't want to mention the universe, but yeah, the universe helps a lot.
The universe does help a lot. Yeah,
Yeah,
you'd be
I
surprised
yeah.
how much how you know
Yeah, I'd like to think,
naturally things.
yeah, like what comes for you, like what's meant for you will come to you. Like that's the universe blessing you with opportunities. Like you said, sometimes you don't have to go out there. Like it can just sometimes come to you. Like that's the universe manifesting itself.
That's true. Lately I've been loving the universe, but the next time I'm gonna have the bad day, I'm just gonna like, fuck you, universe. Like, tangina mo. You know, it's just so
I do want
sad.
to say though, with regards to having bad days, mm, scientifically, I'm not gonna get into science per se, but scientifically speaking, when we're having bad days, or when we're sad, and when we're upset, all the thoughts, like we can be sad, we are allowed to be sad, but
Mm,
do remember that all the thoughts that you like come up with, all of those scary, annoying thoughts that you come up with during the time that you're sad, those pop up because you're sad. It's boosted by the fact that you're sad. And what I'm trying to say is those aren't permanent thoughts. There's a big chance
mm,
that those thoughts, those fuck you universes, they might not hold true. They might not be like 100% legit. Like you know what I'm talking about. And
mm.
it's also what you do from there that matters. When the bad thoughts come, will you be stronger than them or will you let them take over you? It's what you do from there that matters. They will come, but they're not necessarily true. They're not necessarily real. So what do you choose to do with them? Right? That's what I want people to know.
Oh my god. That was so well said though.
Isn't
I,
Nat such a wise individual?
I know he is, like
No,
honestly.
please, please.
Makes
No,
the
Like,
you guys
audience
are
even more
amazing too. You guys
mysterious
talk
to
about this
figure out
beautifully.
who Nat is.
yeah, who is not?
Who
Like,
is
god
Nat?
damn.
Who's Nat?
And who's this? Who's this? Do you guys have you V? Have you ever had a mystery guest before, or am I your first mystery guest?
You are my first anonymous guest, and job well done.
Oh, I'm the first. Ooh,
Wow,
okay.
congrats.
Yeah, yeah.
There it is.
Honestly,
Good luck figuring out who I am.
Comment
it's
section's
not
gonna
like
blow
I
up
change
in
your
the next
voice.
24 hours.
Yeah, yeah. I think I'm just gonna put a picture of like maybe Pikachu whenever you talk.
The
Yeah,
Pikachu with the
yeah.
face that's like,
Yeah, that one,
if
that
you know what I'm
one.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, okay, let's get back on track. We're talking about feeling lost in your 20s and how it's so normal to feel lost. It's okay. Everyone's lost. Even people who are 30, 40, 50, 60, they're still thinking about what to do next with their lives. They're still lost. Like for example, like like for a few months my dad kept on forgetting to pay the bill. So I had to remind him all the time. And we remind each other, of course. But it's just funny because, not even our parents have everything settled for them. Or maybe some of your parents are super good. But, honestly, we're all imperfect and it's just fun, you know, not trying to make a pretense that you're perfect. Unless you're in social media, there's a lot of that. But I think social media is like a place where we actually get to be perfect and it's fine to post perfect stuff. Is it? Do you guys think it's okay? Or
I mean, I'm
huh?
not exactly if
Huh?
as a person at least, as who I really am and not Nat, I'm not exactly the biggest fan of social media.
Mm,
I don't post a lot. I only use it for a few minutes every single day. I use it for messaging people, but never to scroll and just get lost into it. I'm not really a big fan of social media, but with regards to being perfect, that's exactly why I'm not a fan of it. I feel like it's more of a
mm,
facade than anything else. You can be perfect and it does look really good, but to see through the how genuine people are beneath
mm,
that, it's way more beautiful than what social media will ever bring. And that's my belief. Like every single person who posts on social media and they look so perfect. They have so much underlying um, you know, personalities and their own little agendas and their own little stories. And they're all worth telling. way more than what they post online. What I'm trying to say is you are worth more than your posts. You really
Mhm.
do worth are worth more than your posts.
Okay, so let's try to try to materialize, with some like what our what like our teachers say, some concrete examples. Let's try to state some concrete examples. Like, okay, if like for example, someone asks you like, "Yo, I don't know what to do with my life. Like, um, I'm kind of struggling here and there, but I have this certain drive." Okay, just pretend like I'm that person who's asking you guys. Like, I have this certain drive to fulfill my ambitions, but I don't know. I just feel so down lately. Like, my parents have been fighting, my siblings aren't getting along very well, and my grades are going low. So, like, pretend I'm that kind of person. And what would you say to them? Let's start with Tasha. Tasha, what would you say to that person?
Okay. First of all, I know exactly what you're feeling. I want to empathize with that person. Like, as human beings, we're imperfect people. Like, everyone has felt pain, everyone has felt sadness, everyone is going through something that you might not even know, or that I might not
Mhm.
even know. And I think it's important for us to empathize with people and tell them, hey, I know exactly what you're feeling. If anyone listening is going through the same thing, I know what you're feeling. Maybe not exactly what you're feeling, but I at least know a little bit of what you're feeling. And if you're really feeling burnt out during these times, if a lot of things are going on in your life right now, do something that inspires you and do something that makes you happy. Maybe let's say you were burnt out because of music, you were burnt out because of art. Do other things that you find passion in. Like I find passion at least in playing video games in my spare time at least. And do that. Do something away from what made you feel burnt out and stressed so that you can pick yourself back up, get back up on your feet, feel really inspired again. Because there's so much things that life is offering you that are just at the tips of your fingers. Like you just have to go out there and get them. Like or even the comfort of your home, like watch a new movie, play video games. There's so much opportunities for you to get inspired and to feel less burnt out, to feel less sad. And let's say if your parents are fighting, if you have siblings that are fighting, it's always good to confront them. But if you're unsure
Mhm.
about that, always talk to a friend. Like if you always need someone to listen, I'll listen, just private message me or like talk to your friends about it. Because like what Nat said, if you talk to people, it will make you feel so much better. And I'm really susceptible also of choosing not to talk to people when I have problems. Like I think I can deal with them all on my own because you don't want to burden people with your problems. But that's entirely wrong because you should talk to people. You might find a perspective that you didn't know before, that you didn't see before, and that will also really help you if you're feeling really burnt out, stressed, or annoyed. So yeah.
Aw. What
Yeah,
about you, Nat?
no. Tasha said it beautifully, and
She did.
yeah, it goes back to also what I said earlier is that tunnel vision. Life is not a tunnel vision. You have a lot of opportunities and a lot of different things that you can do and even choose from. And yeah, when and if you're feeling burnt out, do not hesitate to step away from it. Obviously, do not give up. That's the first thing. Do not ever give up on it. Giving up is another thing, and you should never give up on things just because you're having one bad day. But taking a step back from it and doing other things to recharge yourself is a very wise move. You're not giving up, you're just recharging yourself. Always tell yourself that. Yeah.
Yeah, actually with that never giving up thing, I'm kind of a weeb, so whenever I feel so down, like, oh my god, I can't do this, but I have to do it. And then I just remembered Naruto saying, "This is my ninja way." Don't give up.
I know that.
No.
Uh,
Here's yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
yeah, and
A lot of
go.
people
Disclaimer, we're
underestimate.
all weebs here.
Yeah, we're
Yes.
always.
Disclaimer for the
Yeah, I
audience.
can. Yeah. Um, we underestimate what media can bring us because yeah it's not all good. Media isn't all good. Sometimes it pressures us, like social media, for example. We've been talking about how mm, we get pressured because we see what other people are doing and we feel like we aren't doing that, and we feel like something is wrong if we aren't doing that. Well, the fact of the matter is, media can also bring us motivation, like how Ballard is inspired by anime. Like
Amen.
sometimes a good song, a good movie, a good anime, it will motivate you. It will, yeah,
Will like
push
get
you
you
to do
back on
more.
track. Yeah. And then like I don't know, like sometimes I wonder like what will I be or who will I be if I didn't digest those. Can you hear the babies crying on the background?
I
No?
You
can.
can,
I actually
I
can.
can.
It's okay. Let's continue. Anyways,
I
like I wonder like who will I be if I didn't digest those? And I think that's what you call external motivation. External motivation, if you're looking for ways to motivate yourself, external motivation is important. You know, if you're feeling sad, feeling down, get some external motivation, but don't remember that your internal motivation, like your core, as Tasha mentioned and I built upon, is your why. Like, why are you doing this? Do you want to help other people? And yeah, I guess yeah. Okay, so I think we're about to get to an hour, so let's try to say our last pieces in the context that a lot of people who are listening here is more or less lost in an aspect of their life. So I want you guys and I want those who are listening right now to listen to this, because Tasha and Nat will give their sort of special piece, or maybe not special piece, just a short statement or short phrase, not phrase, sorry, but something short, for them to take away, basically, because they can't take the whole podcast away and remember everything. So just tell them what they should remember and what they should keep reminding themselves. So who wanna go first?
Well,
N- n- Not
I do want people to know, if I can summarize everything that I've said in one statement, always be patient. I cannot stress it enough. Always be patient, not just with the people around you, but with yourself as well. Always know that life is not a rush. Life is not a rush. It's not a race. You don't need to keep trying to grab the next achievement, keep trying to push yourself to do more, pressure yourself to do more. Do not do that to yourself. Always remember that you are deserving of patience. You deserve that extra time. You deserve that extra day of rest. Do not lose track of your goal. Never give up, but always be patient with yourself and with the people around you too.
all right, Tasha.
Very well said. For me, at least, it's do what makes you happy and never pressure yourself, because everyone, like I always say, everyone moves in different timelines, and you do you. Do what you love and never be afraid to, let's say, just don't compare yourself with other people, because you do what you love, do what makes you happy. And I think that's the best way in which you can love and enjoy and appreciate life. And I think that's
Actually,
also
Tasha,
most important.
question.
Yeah. Yes, yes, yes.
Did have you had like sorry, have you had like an experience where you like compared yourself to someone? Because you kept on mentioning like comparing yourself to other people.
I feel
Have
like
you actually
ooh, I feel like that's very predominant for ladies, let's say girls. I feel like especially in the social media aspect. Like in my Instagram at least. I actually did want to add in this earlier, but I wasn't able to. I use my Instagram account for my modeling portfolio. I'm a very
Mhm.
private person, so I don't like posting each and everything that's happening in my life. I don't like updating people about every single thing. Like I'm at the beach at this specific time. I'm eating here at this specific time. I usually post it like, let's say, a day later, because I really want to
Mm,
enjoy the moment. Sorry, I strayed off a bit, but yeah,
it's
like
okay.
everything in social media is fabricated. I like modeling itself. goes through a lot of edits, goes through a lot of photoshops, and I know that. But that's why I only ever use my Instagram for my modeling portfolios, because yeah, I just find it hard to curate posts when everything's fabricated. I just use photos
Mm,
given to me. I also find it hard to take photos within moments. I really like enjoying moments. So I think that's also something I want you guys to remember, to enjoy the moment while you're still there. Don't use social media while you're still there. Don't pick up your phone when you're drinking with friends. Don't pick up your phone while you're out on some family trip. Like, enjoy that moment. Yeah, that's also something I forgot to bring up earlier, but I want to mention to you guys. Social media isn't all about posting the next big thing that's happening in your life. It's more just enjoying your life and
mm,
connecting with friends. For me personally, comparing myself, I would say that over high school, I had a lot of people, or not a lot, but rather some people who were mean to me. So I guess in that retrospect, I was comparing myself to other people and seeing what I didn't have, like physically, like let's say how why my likes, like yeah, like everyone here's a weeb, my likes were kind of different from people in high school, from my all girls high school. So it was difficult for me to like bond, or let's say immerse myself with those people. So I kind of compared myself and was wondering, why am I like this? Like, am I not good enough? Do I not like the same things? Is that what's not making me likable, maybe? But towards the latter part, or when I over in college, when people were more open, I realized, hey, like it is important to be your own person. Like, I've met so much people here who love and appreciate me for who I am. Maybe you guys are stuck in an environment now where there are people that you don't feel comfortable with, whether it be your block, whether it be where you guys are studying. Like, always know that that time will pass, and there will come a time when you find love and appreciation from others. And yeah, I guess it's during those times when you really compare yourselves, but always remember that there's something better coming, and that if you just put a little effort, you will really meet people that are life changing. Like, that will really like do wonders, like who will really bring positivity to your life. So yeah, as a girl,
yeah.
I would compare myself. And I'm pretty sure a lot of girls here also do that. So yeah, don't do that, guys. Don't do that.
Actually, I'd compare myself to, that's one of the reasons why I work out, because I didn't want to lose to other guys in terms of look factor. But I try to like stray away from that, because I'm kind of enjoying the process of working out, you know, because okay, sorry, I'm talking about working out. Sorry, okay. So like what I want you guys to take away from this is that, you gotta be, well, as Nat said, you gotta be patient. I'm gonna beep that out. But you gotta be patient. You really gotta be patient, and those, actually, you gotta make choices that make yourself proud of yourself. Because if you keep on making choices that is, well, super influenced by others, or super influenced by maybe your parents, let's say, or maybe your friends, you won't really be able to say that you're happy with yourself, because you got to make choices that you yourself want. And I think, because Tasha and Nat said everything well, I just want you guys to know that make choices that's good for yourself. Because if you make a habit of that, like if you make a habit of that, you're gonna you're gonna really thank yourself. Because in the end, you know you got yourself, but you also got other people. But uh, I don't know where I'm going with this, but yes.
I
Okay.
know where you're going with that. Here, this is what you're
Yeah,
trying to
can you
say.
help me?
Don't conform to what other people want for you. Don't conform to society standards, but always remember to just be yourself. Basically
Yes.
that. Do things you love, just be yourself. Don't
Okay,
conform
yes.
with.
Okay. Nice one, Tash. Okay. So, do you guys have any last words? Sorry, it's like you're gonna die, but do you guys have anything else to say?
Well, I guess, yeah, one last thing that I want to mention that I didn't get to mention earlier is, since you guys are talking about other people's choices and other people's advice. I mentioned earlier that yeah, it's nice to talk to people when we're sad. We all mentioned that it's nice to talk to people when we're down, when we have problems. But do know that at the end of the day, it all comes down to you. Like what your
Mm.
parents say to you, the advices that they give, what your friends tell you, the advices that they give, these are all just advices. You can choose to take them, you can choose to leave them. You can take what you feel like is for you, you can leave what you feel like is not for you. But at the end of it all still comes down to you, and your actions ultimately will be the one to make the difference. Not your friends' actions, not your parents' actions, not the people, external people's actions, but your own actions. Yeah. Also, if ever the advice that they give or the words that they say do not specifically apply to you, because we cannot deny the fact that not all advice is meant for you. Like, not what every single thing that I'm saying, they may not apply to you, and that's perfectly fine. The things that your parents say, they may not apply to you, and that's perfectly fine. You can choose to leave out some of them if you really feel like it's not for you, but do not ever blame them for it. Do not ever blame your friends. Oh, friend A keeps telling me to do this, do this, do this, but I don't want to do this. I don't want to do it. I feel like it's wrong. Do not ever blame them for it because it's their advice and maybe it worked for them. You know, they have a right to their own opinions too. Yeah. So do not ever blame the people for, yeah, possibly saying things that you may not want to hear.
All right. So, well, actually, honestly, um, did you guys enjoy like talking about this? Like, like, did you guys enjoy? Are you guys okay? Did you guys solve anything?
Yeah.
Did we solve anything?
Podcasts are basically intellectual conversations you wouldn't have on a daily basis unless you
Yeah, that's
set an
true.
appointment. This is like psychology, but this is like talking to a psychologist, but it's live.
Ah, yeah, that is true.
I
All
feel so
right.
light now. Like,
You do, you do. Okay, I'm so happy. Oh my god. You do? Like,
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What about you, Nat? How did it make you feel? Are
Okay, I
you
do want to share, and I feel like
yeah?
Tosh can share her own on her own later. But I do want to. I can speak for Tosh as well. This is actually our first podcast. We've never been on a
Oh, okay,
podcast
okay.
before.
Yeah, we've
Yeah, this is
never talked.
actually yeah on a podcast before, and I'd say this is a nice experience. I do want to thank V for being such an amazing host. Also,
Thank
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 you.
you for giving
you.
us this
Thank you.
opportunity to speak and share our thoughts. Mm, I feel like this is really worthwhile, and this has been on our bucket list for a long time. And
Yeah.
thank you for being the one to make it happen. I feel like you're
Oh.
doing such an amazing thing here, and I feel like you really shouldn't stop as well. Hopefully, you
Mhm.
get to, as you said earlier, episode 100. Yeah.
Mhm. That's the dream. But yeah, okay. Thank you guys so much. I'm happy you guys uh oh my god, we're still recording pa pala. But yes, I'm happy that you guys enjoyed it. Like what's more important for me is the people here in this podcast right now. Like I want you guys to enjoy more than more than the listeners, because if we enjoy, then they'll enjoy. So yeah. All right. So with that, this has been Tasha. And this has been Nat. Thank you guys so much. I know this is a different feel from like the original V for Variety. This is a more wholesome conversation, you know, because usually I'd go for more parang upbeat or happy stuff. And this is happy, but this is sincere, happy, and wholesome. And I'm super happy that we've got to do this. So thank you so much, Tasha, and thank you so much, Nat. All right. With this, um, please follow V for Variety on Facebook and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit like, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and also follow on Spotify. We're also there. So yeah, thank you guys so much, and I appreciate you guys listening to the viewers, and I appreciate my guests so much because, you know, I couldn't have delved that much into this topic without them. So, yes, thank you guys so much. And then, peace. Bye.
Bye.